Hey, Toby, are you guys playing football?
We are. I do believe that they are doing a lot. If it's either outside of conference or inside of conference. I want to say it's outside of conference because the Big South Conference is putting some kind of regulation on whether or not they're still going to compete the rest of the year. Last time I heard, they were supposed to have started the first week of October. Don't know if they did. Haven't been following it too closely because I know, again, it wasn't going to be a full season, even if they did get to play.
Okay, I'm just going to give it a little bit more time to see who joins us. Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and get started. So welcome to the Virtual Transfer College Exploration for all North and South Carolina students, sponsored by CACRAO and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at cacrao.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, again, cacrao.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm just going to get my screen share ready. We appreciate your attendance today. Our panel today is about transferring as a student athlete. My name is Nancy Reading, and I'm the Associate Director of Admissions at the University of North Carolina, Pembroke. And I'll let my other panelists introduce themselves.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shannon Valerie. I'm one of the regional admissions counselors with St. Andrews University.
Hey, everyone. My name is Toby Tate, and I'm the transfer admissions counselor at Gardner-Webb University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Hitt. I'm the Senior Associate Director of Admissions at Fayetteville State University.
All right. So the first thing we're going to start off with is that one of the important things when transferring as a student athlete is understanding the type of school you're interested in transferring to really will vary based on the division that they're in. Whether you're looking for NCAA Division 1, 2, or 3, NAIA, or NJCAA. So those are a lot of acronyms, so we're going to explain those first for you. And so for Division 1, we're going to turn it over to Mr. Toby Tate.
Thank you, Nancy. All right, so let's get going. A little bit about what Division I sports means. The NCAA basically sets these standards up for all these divisions, and in that, its member institutions have to meet these rules in order to reach and maintain that Division I status. So these rules are to kind of ensure the balance of competitiveness between athletes as well as gender equity. There's a lot of specific rules in Division I as for football and basketball, mainly because those sports are the ones that generate the most revenue in college athletics. They are closely monitored. You know, they have a lot of have and have nots that are kind of included in those rulings. Division I schools have to sponsor at least 6 men's sports and 8 women's sports. Each playing season, which is the fall, winter, and spring, have to be represented by each of those genders. So it kind of, again, focuses on that gender equity part of things. For sports other than the basketball and football, Division I schools must play 100% of a minimum number of the contest against Division I opponents. Anything over the minimum of that, they have to do 50%. Also, Division I schools have the biggest student bodies, largest athletic budgets, and most athletic scholarships. So generally, these are the larger schools. These are at least the more competitive on the athletic scale in regards to what kind of athletes they can bring forth, as well as how much money they can offer them as far as scholarships goes and things like that. Division I schools must meet a minimum financial aid award for their athletic programs and a maximum athletic financial aid award for each sport that is Division I can't exceed. They have certain limitations on that as well. So definitely something to keep in mind when you're looking at your schools, whether or not it's Division I, II, III, NJCAA or NAIA. It can very well depend on how much money they're able to offer you, as well as the amount of athletic opportunities you're going to have at that school. But that's the generics about Division I. I'll pass it on for Division II.
All right, so I'm gonna kick it off for Division II. So just like Division I, the NCAA set standards for Division II schools in order to maintain competitive balance, opportunities for athletes, and gender equity. Division II have to sponsor at least 5 sports for men and 5 for women, or if they have 4 men's sports, then they need 6 sports for women. With 2 team sports for each gender and each playing season represented by each gender. Each sport has contest and participant minimums. Football and men's and women's basketball must play at least 50% of their games against Division II FBS or FCS opponents. In NCAA Division II, student athletes get 4 seasons of competition to use in 10 full-time semesters. This is a little different from Division I, which has a 5-year clock on student athletes. Unlike Division I, there are no attendance requirements for football or arena game requirements for basketball. There are maximum financial aid awards for each sport. And full athletic scholarships are more common at a Division I school. Most Division II athletes receive partial athletic scholarships. So a lot of times at a Division II school, as far as scholarships, you might be combining an athletic scholarship with an academic or other merit-based scholarship, or you may have to pay partially for your tuition. So that's an important distinction for a lot of students. And I'm going to turn it over to Division III.
Well, for Division III, Division III is the largest of all the NCAA divisions. In Division III, there are 444 institutions and more than 170,000 student athletes that participate at these institutions. One of the key differences in Division III is that there are no athletic scholarships. And so a lot of times students are seeking scholarships, but in Division III, there are no specific athletic scholarships. The majority of these athletes receive some type of academic scholarships or other need-based aid, but they are not called athletic scholarships. Also, there are shorter practices, less travel games in Division III as well. The rules for Division III are designed to maintain gender equality, just like all of the other divisions, in order to offer a minimum number of opportunities to all athletes. Division III schools have to sponsor at least 5 sports for men and 5 for women, with 2 team sports for each gender, and each playing season represented by each gender as well. So the main thing that'll stand out for you guys at Division III is the fact that they do not offer athletic scholarships. So we can move on. You're on mute.
Sorry about that. Just wanted to let you know there are other intercollegiate sports associations. So besides NCAA, there are 2 other governing bodies for intercollegiate sports. It's the NAIA and the NJCAA. The National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics, or the NAIA, has about 300 member institutions. NAIA schools are smaller and have relatively low athletic department budgets, roughly on par with Division III schools. However, unlike NCAA Division III, NAIA schools do offer athletic scholarships. For an example, some of the schools that offer the scholarships will be Morningside College, which some of you may have never heard of, but you can actually look into, Mayville State University, St. Andrews University, Florida Memorial University, Xavier University is not listed, but the NAIA doesn't have the prestigious of the NCAA, but it offers an alternative, a route for smaller schools. So basically, if you still want to compete, we do offer, the schools offer actually athletic and academic, as Nancy mentioned for Division II, There's also alternative ways to basically help you to pay for the cost of school. And sometimes you may actually have to come out of pocket for a small amount to contribute towards that, but you're still eligible for athletic scholarship. The National Junior College Athletic Association, or the NJCAA, is the governing board for sports of a two-year college. Members of the NJCAA can also offer athletic scholarships as well.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about Fayetteville State a little bit, if that's okay with everybody. We're Division II, CIAA. We're actually one of the larger Division II teams. We're almost a population of 7,000 students, located right in North Carolina, in Fayetteville. We are the second oldest state university in the UNC system. Only UNC Chapel Hill, as a public institution, is older than Fayetteville State University. We offer over 33 bachelor's degrees, 17 master's degrees. We have some wonderful programs. Some of our most high achieving, most popular programs right now are nursing. We're ranked in one of the top one of the top programs in the state of North Carolina. We have some wonderful partnerships with some of our other sister institutions, such as the 3+2 engineering program with NC State, where you can come to Fayetteville State and then transfer up to NC State and actually receive 2 degrees. One from us and one from them, one in computer engineering, computer science, math or chemistry, and then one in engineering from NC State University. Certainly we offer programs that are really popular, like criminal justice, psychology. Education is our foundation. That is the first degree that we ever offered. We were initially known as Fayetteville Teachers College. So we offer undergrad, master's, and doctoral degrees in all of those areas. We have wonderful scholarship opportunities. Not just athletic scholarships, but also for those high achieving student athletes. We have many scholarships that are available for you all academically as well. So we'll move forward. As I shared with you all, these are some of the most popular programs that we have on our campus. We have 3 different colleges: a College of Humanities and Social Sciences that houses our history programs, our geospatial programs, social work, undergrad and master's, intelligence studies and cybersecurity. Our College of Health Science and Technology. As I shared with you all, the nursing program. We are also the only school in North Carolina that has a forensic science program that is accredited through the FEPAC organization, which is a big deal. As I touched on, the 3+2 engineering program, our biology and chemistry programs for those who are in pursuit of pre-professional tracks such as pre-med, pre-dental, pre-pharmacy, and pre-vet programs. We have some state-of-the-art facilities over in our science and technology building that will help you prepare for those graduate schools or those professional schools thereafter. We have an AACSB accredited Broadwell College of Business, which is a very, very high achievement. For those of you who are seeking degrees in business, make sure you get an idea of what that AACSB accredited accreditation is and how it separates our program from other programs throughout, not only throughout the country, but throughout the world. So we're very proud of our Broadwell College of Business and its accomplishments. As I shared with you all, our College of Education is our foundation. Early childhood, birth through K, middle school, special ed, all of those programs right here on campus. So if we'll move forward. And lastly, we want to show this video of some of our Division II athletes.
Time it. We gonna do this the Bronco way. Look, it's about time. Reside, blue white nation Bronco preside. Get buck and lead the others to the scissor. I said buck, now competition scared to reside. Oh, where your team at? Just them? In that case, competition looking quite slim. Just go home, pack it up. Bus trip, this is our house. Hit the road, let the dust kick. We about to go to work, cause we working hard. Don't you hear the song clap? Let the beat applaud. It's about to go down. That's right, cheer fire, MBX on the left side. We go hard. Pause, cranium, Broncos, Luther Nick Gerald Stadium. Now Broncos, hands up, rock with it. If you don't have them blue and white, then you don't get it. On the field of the court, we ready to play. Every year, I mean 24 hours a day. Hey, but good luck to you. But this is how we do when we reppin' that white and blue here at the FSU. FSU, I feel that. FSU, FSU, we turned up at FSU. Here's our home at FSU. We in our zone at FSU. It's about to be on at FSU. Attitude check, what's up? Now where your pride at? You see mine, this takes a lot of hard work, you couldn't be mine. See this blowing white as smooth as and so ever clean. And plus we got the most pride that you ever seen. See, I'm about my team, and that's the Broncos. We rain down the competition, ponchos. It's game time, that's right. Alumni and the fans on the right side. Head honcho in the CIAA. And if you trying to take the crown, well, who wanna play? See each and every day, it's blowing white. Morning, afternoon, evenings, and every night. And I mean that. We be it, shout out and cheer fight. You see it, this is how we do when we reppin' that white and blue here at the FSU. FSU, I feel that. FSU, FSU, we turned up at FSU. Here's our home at FSU, I feel that. FSU, FSU, we turned up at FSU. Here's our home at FSU, I feel that. FSU, FSU, we turned up at FSU. Here's our home at FSU. We in our zone at FSU. It's about to be on at FSU. Attitude check, what's up? Now where your pride at? You see mine, this takes a lot of hard work, you couldn't be mine. See this blowing white as smooth as and so ever clean. And plus we got the most pride that you ever seen. See, I'm about my team, and that's the Broncos. We rain down the competition, ponchos. It's game time, that's right. Alumni and the fans on the right side. Head honcho in the CIAA. And if you trying to take the...
All right. So as the video suggests and the song suggests, we are the head honcho in the CIAA. Every single championship, for the most part, we either won it last year or it came through us. And specifically, it was the year of the woman at Fayetteville State. Our women, you know, they won the basketball championship, the volleyball championship. They went 52-0 during the season in bowling. And so they won the track and field championship, and they got second place in cross country. Our men's football team lost in the championship, but we got there for the third time in a row. And our men's basketball team lost in the championship game as well. So again, all championships come through us, but we couldn't do it without high quality transfer students who come to us from Division I teams, whether they're big school Division I or mid-major Division I teams. Every team that we have that has been competitive and won championships was sprinkled with individuals such as yourselves, which are transfer students coming from other institutions. And if you need to reach us, these are our points of contact for different regions. So thank you guys for your attention.
Awesome. Great, Michael. Some awesome information about FSU. Moving forward just a little bit, we'll talk about Gardner-Webb. So Gardner-Webb Athletics, we are a Division I school. We are part of the Big South Conference. On the next slide, I will talk a little bit about that. We have got all sorts of teams, ranging across the board. We've got a great football team, really great basketball team. We actually won the Big South Conference this previous year in basketball, very big event for Gardner-Webb history. Primetime athletics, we've got some of the best of the best. And like Michael said, those D1 athletes are those they really outstand. They're the ones that you might only have sprinkled on the team every once in a while, but they're the ones that can really lead and make the difference. And that's the ones that we want. We want those who are going to strive for greatness, because we got some great teams that are ready for them. We play in, again, that Big South Conference, which means we play against High Point, Campbell, Winthrop, a couple other colleges that are somewhat local to Gardner-Webb here in North Carolina. And we play some outside of conference matches too. We've played some big schools like NC State before. That was a great football game. But this picture here is a great illustration of some winners that we have on our basketball team. This was a really big day for us, this championship that we won, most definitely. Moving forward, I'll talk a little bit more about the actual transfer process at Gardner-Webb. So coming in as an athlete, it's fairly simple. You just go on the website and apply. We do have the Common App as a partnership that you can go through as well. Once you get on there and you get your application and everything, I myself will be in contact with you as a transfer student, and we'll talk details about what you need to bring in. You do have to have a minimum transfer GPA of a 2.0, which is fairly easy to achieve, even as a student athlete. And we definitely want you to strive for greatness, but this 2.0 we understand is sometimes difficult to maintain even as an athlete. but definitely welcoming you. Again, we have rolling admissions, which means that you can apply at any point in time throughout the cycle. It's very easy to do, takes all of 10 minutes. There's no essays or fees or anything attached to it. So really quick and easy, but definitely get the application in, get those transcripts in. Moving on to the next slide. I just want to talk to you a little bit more about what we have to offer for transfer students. So as far as credit goes, we know that one of the biggest things for transferring students is going to be worried about, oh, you know, I've already got 2 years on my belt at college, wherever I'm coming from. I don't want to lose out on those 2 years. We are very, very transfer friendly. We have a transfer credit calculator, more or less is what I consider it, on our website. You can click that little link. You just kind of search up transfer credit, and you can move your way to the website to find that under the equivalency page. And it kind of gives you just a soft estimate of what classes will transfer over. Everything that's on the official basis will have to be done by the registrar's office. But we are very transfer friendly, so definitely keep that in mind. As far as paying for college, we've got all kinds of scholarships that are offered. Listed here, you can see up to $12,000 in just merit-based scholarship can be given to each and every student based off of your grades only. That's also stackable with athletic scholarships. So you've got to keep in mind too, Division I pays some of the biggest athletic scholarships in the book. You know, they give full rise to athletes, they give lower scholarships to athletes, but it really ranges across the board. You can qualify for a whole lot of athletic money and a whole lot of academic money, and that really helps pay for college. On the bottom there, you have my contact information, just so that you'll be able to get in touch with me if ever need be, and for anything transfer related. Moving forward to the last slide, I've got some little links here if you want to take a little screenshot or just take a picture with your phone. That left application is the one for the university itself. Feel free to apply. Again, it's really quick and easy. And that one on the right is actually our athletic survey. So we'd like for students that are interested in Gardner-Webb athletics to complete that survey, get your name in the books with our coaches. When they see it and they say, oh, here's somebody transferring from so-and-so, we're really interested in them. We know they've got a great athletic program at that school. Let's look at this student. And that way they can reach out to you and make it a little bit more seamless as far as the recruitment process. But that is the majority of what I have to share with you today about Gardner-Webb. Any more questions that you have, always feel free to reach out to me, and also reach out to our compliance office, and they will definitely, you know, go in depth with anything that you need to know about.
Great, great, great. Thanks for sharing that with us, Toby. So it's always good to hear different information from other schools. Well, I'm going to say calling all athletes, but before we get started with that, just want to share a little bit of information about St. Andrews. We're located in Laurinburg, North Carolina, probably about 2 hours from Charlotte, roughly about the same distance from Raleigh, Durham, but we're not far from the beaches as well. You can go to the next slide because I know they really can find that history information out if they actually set up a visit. So being an athlete at St. Andrews, I'm going to say calling all athletes, do you want to excel in football, on the field, or on the court, or even in the swimming pool? Well, we're part of NAIA. We have 27 varsity collegiate athletic programs. We welcome all competitive and spirited play athletes who are who's willing to be a part of teamwork. Our coaches are always looking for high character and talented student athletes to strengthen Knight Nation. New additions to our athletic department includes esports, women's beach volleyball, and actually women's wrestling. So we actually have another sport that not a lot of schools actually offer. We actually have equestrian. Equestrian specific to St. Andrews. Some people want to know, do they do roping? No, it's a little bit more detailed, and it's very, very competitive. St. Andrews boasts over 50 years of championship equine traditions. They have 3 intercollegiate riding teams to compete in Hunter Seat, Western, Dressage in the IHSA and the IDA. The Riding Equestrian Center is about education as well. So students who are interested in pre-vet, therapeutic horsemanship, there's so many different ways to actually be a part of the equestrian and even actually helping out. How do you become an athlete at St. Andrews? The first steps would be to complete an application. You also need to go onto our site so that you can do a recruitment form, which is actually, if you want to take a screenshot of this, so you can actually do the recruitment form for St. Andrews. Be available to communicate. I know a lot of students don't really like talking anymore. They're so used to texting. But if you're interested in playing a sport, you might want to make yourself available to the coaches so that they can actually see what you're interested in. And even during COVID right now, some of you may not have film ready to show your coaches, but I would give a great suggestion would be to I know most of you are still out there competing some type of way. Some of you are not able to do it through your schools. Some are still able to do it through AAU, or actually just still getting out and getting some exercise and staying fit, just in case the availability for you to be able to have an opportunity to show a coach what you're capable of doing. You can send a short film. It can be less than 5 minutes. They recommend between 3 to 5 minutes. You can actually load it onto Huddy, Huddle, Max Preps, or Captain U. Next slide, please. So our athletic director is Elizabeth Burris. And as I mentioned, if you would like to just take some time out to look for the specific sport that you're interested in, these are the coaches' names and actually their contact information. The great thing, I would say, the easiest thing is that the email address is super easy. Maybe not the first part, but definitely the ending part, because all you have to do is put in that SAEDU. Moving forward. So to make it even easier for you, you can actually take your phone and scan the recruitment form, and it'll pop up for you. Again, the first steps for any of the schools is basically all of us have recruitment forms. And in order for the coaches to know what you're interested in, how to get in touch with you, we always suggest that you fill out these forms so that they can basically move forward and reach out to the admissions office to get more information and assist you in the process. Moving forward. I mentioned to you the application process, and some people think that's the ultimate, like you stop at just doing the application. Another quick reminder is that we also need your transcript. Again, because of the circumstances right now, some of you guys are wondering if you actually need your SAT or ACT scores. Some schools are test optional right now, so they're not requiring it, but if you actually have that information, please submit it to the schools that you're actually interested in. You also need to, regardless if you're on a full scholarship, I would always recommend that you complete the FAFSA. That additional money could be for athletes at a Division I school, could be something as simple as extra food for you, housing for you if you're not staying on campus, but actually just additional additional funds for books or just other amenities while you're in school. Moving forward. At St. Andrews, just want to show you if you're completing your FAFSA, our school code to add on, it will show up as Weber International University, as we are a part of Weber International University. You also can actually look up, because as I mentioned before, NAIA does offer academic and athletic scholarships. So if you're looking for comprehensive scholarships offered by St. Andrews, you can definitely look on our website. I would always suggest, the huge suggestion to any students, whether you're an athlete or not, outside private scholarships are also opportunities for you to add additional funds for school. So therefore, if you're working at a local restaurant, if you have a credit union or any of those other things, that you can actually reach out and just search on, if you're in North Carolina, cfnc.org, or some of your other state sites to see what other scholarships could be available for you. Moving forward. Again, I'm going to just tell you the best suggestion for all of us, if the schools are actually open for visits, contact the school so that you can see if you can schedule a visit to go and see. If you're not able to physically go and see the campus, set up something virtually so that you can actually get an opportunity just to get a glance at something that you may be interested in. If you're interested in St. Andrews, we actually have a couple links that you can actually see at the bottom of this screen, and take your phone and scan. You can set up a visit. You can actually scan it for apply, and then you also can scan it for seeing opportunities for scholarships. Again, if you're interested in St. Andrews, feel free to contact my email address again is valeriesm@sa.edu. Thanks for learning about being a part of Knight Nation.
Hello again. My name is Nancy Reading, and I'm the Associate Director of Admissions at UNC Pembroke, and I hope that you'll choose to be a Brave. So Brave Nation is what we go by, and so here's a video about some of our student athletes at work.
Hard work, hard work. Hard work, hard work. Hard work, work. There you go. Hard work, work. Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work. Hard work. That's what they say. Hard work, work, work. Earn more pay. Hard work, I earn my pay. Hard work, got to go make the call. Hard work, banging on the doors in the morning. Hard work, get up and let's go to work. Hard work, hard work, you pack up the shoes. Hard work, hard work, you load them up. Hard work, manifest. Hard work, you gotta do it right. Hard work, and here we go. Hard work, with the sun, I'm ready to rock. Hard work, I'm earning my pay. Hard work, that's what they say. Hard work, we moving on out. We gotta go and do the job. Load them up on the airplane. In the early morning rain. Hard work, that's what they say.
So that just gives you an idea of what our student athletes have been up to since they've returned to campus. So we still have a thriving athletic program here at UNC Pembroke. We are a Division II athletics offering a variety of men's and women's sports, including basketball, football, baseball, cross country, track and field, and wrestling for our men, and then basketball, cross country, golf, soccer, softball, track and field, and volleyball for our women. So the University of North Carolina Pembroke, if you're not familiar with us, we're founded in 1887 as the Croatan Normal School. And so we're originally founded to educate American Indian teachers. So we're a school founded by American Indians for American Indians. So our heritage runs deep here at UNC Pembroke, being the home of the Braves. We have about 6,400 undergraduate students with a total enrollment of 8,200, including our graduate students. We're considered one of the most diverse universities in the South, with a majority of our students being from minorities. So we are considered a minority serving institution, offering 41 undergraduate programs with small class sizes. Our average class size is 20 and our student faculty ratio is 18:1. So if you've been attending a community college, don't worry that you'll be lost in the crowd at UNC Pembroke. You'll definitely still get a lot of one-on-one attention with us. We also offer over 100 clubs and organizations, so you definitely don't just have to confine your activities to the field. You can definitely join other clubs and organizations, including fraternities and sororities. We have a very thriving Greek life with over 20 Greek organizations. Some popular majors for athletes at UNC Pembroke. Many of our athletes want to continue their career in something related to sports if they don't choose to play professionally. We have had a member of our football team play for the New York Jets, so that's a great thing for us. But a lot of our athletes choose to go into fields like athletic training, exercise and sports science, where we have 3 concentrations: health promotion, recreation, and sports leadership. Health and physical education that allows you to be certified to teach K through 12. So if you want to work with high school or middle school sports, that's a great option for you. And then business is always a popular major for our athletes that are interested in maybe becoming agents for other professional athletes when they graduate. So there's just a lot going on here at UNC Pembroke. I think one of the reasons why athletic training is probably a really popular major for our athletes is because they get such great services from our athletic performance and training department at UNC Pembroke. So we have some wonderful facilities. So I'm going to show you a portion of this next video to give you an idea of the type of space that you'll work in as a student athlete at UNCP.
Hello and welcome to the University of North Carolina at Pembroke. My name is Joey Hannett, Director of Athletic Performance.
I'm Michael Blackburn, Head Athletic Trainer, and today we're going to give you an inside look at what both of our departments have to offer.
As the Director for Athletic Performance, I am directly responsible for all varsity sports at UNC Pembroke. Our mission is to enhance the potential of each individual student athlete's total training needs. The health and well-being of our student athletes is first and foremost. Our training facilities here at UNCP rival some Division I schools. Along with our 2 weight rooms, we have several fields here on campus that we can use for our student athletes training. Communication with the athletic training department has to be an open line for our athletic teams to be successful. My staff and Michael's staff communicate on a daily basis.
Our department has 7 athletic trainers, 3 graduate assistants, and 4 full-time that are going to provide excellent medical coverage to all of our student athletes here at the university. We service over 400 student athletes during the course of the year, and we do that out of 2 incredible athletic training facilities. One here in the Jones Center, which includes SwimX therapy pools, and we also have another one over in the Bob Caton Fieldhouse. The athletic performance staff and my staff are in constant communication regarding, injuries or individuals coming back from injuries as far as what they can do in the weight room and as they progress back on the field.
So that just gives you a look at what we offer at UNC Pembroke for our athletes in order to keep them healthy. Another thing that I'd like to discuss is that as a Division II school, we may not offer full athletic scholarships, but the tuition at the University of North Carolina Pembroke is extremely affordable. For an in-state resident, our tuition is $500 per semester, and our out-of-state tuition is $2,500 per semester. This chart gives you an idea of the cost if you chose to attend and live on campus full-time. There is about $2,600 of that total cost is for health insurance. If you already have health insurance, you can receive a waiver for that, so that can save you a considerable portion of that total cost, making our total cost about $13,000 instead of $15,000 for an in-state resident. We are currently part of the Peach Belt Conference, but we will be moving to the Conference Carolinas next academic year, aside from our football team, which will remain part of the Mountain East Conference. So I really hope that as an athlete, you'll consider the University of North Carolina Pembroke. We love our student athletes, and we hope that you'll just choose to join Brave Nation. Thank you very much. So we're going to move into our question and answers. So if you have any questions for our panelists, please put them in the chat, and we'd love to take your questions now. So it doesn't look like we have any questions at this point. One thing I would like to share that if you are planning to transfer as a student athlete, our athletic compliance officer indicated that you need to make sure that you're in the transfer portal if you're looking to transfer to an NCAA school. So please make sure that you've completed the NCAA transfer portal so that you're prepared to transfer and that you can communicate with the coaches at the individual institutions. Would any of my other panelists like to share some additional information while we wait for a few questions, if we have any?
Yes, and I would also like to add on to that, if by chance you're looking at a JUCO, which is a junior college, I would also suggest that you look up the application that you would have to do for that, the same thing that you would have to do to enter the application to make sure that you're eligible to apply to these schools. So even for NAIA, it's different from NCAA. So there's the same thing. You'll have to submit your transcripts. You'll have to make sure you do the application to make sure that you're eligible to even participate on those different levels.
I'd like to add, the earlier the better. The earlier the better when determining whether or not you want to transfer to another institution. Because the earlier you're able to make contact with that potential institution's coaches and compliance officers will help determine whether or not you're going to be eligible right away, whether or not you're eligible to participate, whether or not you need to complete some other credits in other places before you get there, so that you don't transfer somewhere and get there and realize that you don't have what you need in order to be immediately competitive. And so some students transfer knowing that. Some students transfer not knowing that, and it's really frustrating. And so in order to avoid some of that frustration, the earlier the better that you connect with them and let them know so they can work through your background academics to get an idea of where you stand.
I also wanted to mention too, as being a former athlete, some of us may have played sports on the collegiate level. It's really important. I actually have 2 daughters that play on the collegiate level. So I'm sharing this because you have athletes, not just nationwide, but you have athletes that are all actually looking for these opportunities internationally as well. So you have students coming from Australia, South Africa, Brazil, all these different opportunities for them as well. So keep in mind, even though some of you may have your mind set on going to a Division I school, the key point for any athletic program, and I'll tell this to anyone, and I say this all the time to my own children, if by chance you are injured, your whole purpose for going to school is academics. So if you know that you're actually not a Division I athlete, but you still want to play on a collegiate level, you could possibly look at that Division III school, or look at an NAI school, or look at a junior college to basically better yourself. And then if you feel like you've exceeded or peaked out at those potential schools, then maybe if you wanted to get in a transfer portal, you may be able to look at a Division II or Division I school, but be mindful of your ability to be able to compete on the different levels and seek out the schools based on that.
Yeah, you want to go where opportunities are available for you. Some student athletes get so caught up in the different divisions, whatever they may be, that they end up going somewhere and sitting on the bench, right? As an athlete, you don't want to sit on a bench the whole time. Now, you understand that maybe, the first year or something, you sit on the bench, learn the ways, and so on and so forth. But you don't want a career where you're sitting on the bench 2, 3, 4 years straight, where, sometimes you can go to another division where there may be opportunities for you to compete right away. We have a young man who is preparing for the NFL draft right now. So we'll see how it goes. He's a defensive end, and he was a Division I athlete, ended up transferring to Fayetteville State and being a fairly dominant force in our division, in our conference. And so a lot depends on how you perform where you are in order to stand out. Do you want to go somewhere and average 40 points a game at a Division II school, or do you want to go to a Division I and sit on the bench, right? And so sometimes these are realities. We have our top players from our men's and women's basketball team both transferred to Fayetteville State from Division I schools, and both immediately became our leading scorers right out of the gate. And they only averaged maybe 3 or 6 points at a Division I institution. One of them, coincidentally, was at a Division I. We played against them. We beat them by like 30 points. Now they're a Division I team, and he ended up transferring to us as a player that only averaged about 3 to 5 points with them and became a 20-point scorer with us. Sometimes it's about the system and whether or not it's a good fit for you. So that's something you want to look forward to figuring out as well, whether or not it's a good fit for you. It's more than just Division I, 2, 3, and whatever the case is. It's about where is it a good fit for you and where there are opportunities for you to compete as quickly as you would like to.
One more key.
I think that's definitely true. You also want to find a coach that you connect with that can help develop you, not only as an athlete, but as a person, and push you to succeed in the classroom and on the field or on the court. So really taking time to meet with those coaches. At UNC Pembroke, we are offering on-campus tours. So if you are interested in transferring to us, you can set up a campus tour and let us know ahead of time that you're interested in a particular sport, and we'll try to make a connection so that you can meet with that coach, just so that you can get a sense of the facilities that you would be training and competing in, as well as the staff that you'll be working with. You want to find a good fit for you as an athlete and as a student.
Another two, I'm sorry if I'm telling you guys so much, but I'm thinking about 2 quick reminders. For NCAA, there are regulations and rules when they can actually contact you as well. So keep in mind, that's what we said, to reach out to the compliance person to see when that may take place. NAIA and the junior college is a little different. They even actually can have tryouts. So basically know and follow up based on looking up the rules for whatever division that you're looking into. Another quick reminder or quick something to think about, and most athletes don't. If you're a good athlete, or even I would say a great athlete, and you think you're dominant in one sport, you're in football, but you're an excellent track star as well, look at a sport that maybe that you've dueled or you've done like 3 different sports, Look at the different sports because there may be scholarship opportunities in a sport that you didn't even think about.
Okay, thank you guys. We appreciate this, y'all being here with us. I'm going to share one more slide. A little housekeeping here. All right, so again, thank you for joining us today. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at CACRAO.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find the sessions recording as well as all the other sessions and recordings at CACRAO.org. Thank you and have a great afternoon.